Hello and welcome to Connecting the Dots. I am Emily Miller, your host for today's show, and I'm so excited that this week we have a very special guest. One of my clients is going to be joining with us, and her name is Odelle Bowman, and she is known as the Hope Broker. And we met a couple of years ago thanks to one of my other clients, Tam Vayu, who I was an online business manager for. And we were both in a business mastermind together. And so got to know each other and our businesses very well. And I thought it might be fun just to share with you a very quick 40 seconds video cover that I created for my business at the time when I was known as the virtual assistant goddess, because this is kind of an example of the work that I have done, can do, and one of the reasons I believe that Odelle was attracted to working with me. So let me just give that a quick play. And there's no sound with this, but you can see you've got testimonials from Jody Jealous, and before that it was Tam Vayu, and just sharing some of the benefits of working with me, how you can attract more money, success, and happiness. And another client, Rory Callaghan, said it was like a weight off his shoulders having me do work with him. And Emily Miller is amazing. My clients love dealing with her too. Amonda Rose Igo. And basically, my message was, it's the perfect time to free you up. You can stay in your genius, and together we can accomplish so much more. So thank you for the opportunity to share that just very briefly. And if you are here, we are live, so please show some love and share to your page. Thank you. And also, let's have a look. I see we've got some comments. So Jeffrey Miller, my incredible husband, he's saying, get ready for an amazing show. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, it's going to be an awesome show. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different in that we're going to do some hands-on training, or hot seat training, as I like to call it, with Odelle. So probably now is a good opportunity for me to introduce Odelle Bowman, who is the Hope Broker, an entrepreneur, a biohacker, and an arts professional. And that's something that I didn't really know about Odelle. So I'm excited to hear a bit more about that. She has over 6 years been a seeker of and a voice for the cutting edge of what is happening in the health and wellness industry. And prior to this, she was an arts administrator for nonprofits, a grants writer, and founded a Company of Girls, which is an after-schools arts program for at-risk girls. And the Company of Girls received the Coming Up Taller Award, and Odelle received the Maine Women's Fund Award and the After School Champion Award. And she currently lives in Maine with her husband, 2 dogs, a cat, and many occasional critters. So, Odelle, thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to Connecting the Dots.
Thank you, Emily. I'm pleased to be here. It was an honor to be invited to share how wonderful you are.
Thank you. And also an opportunity for you to get some hands-on training to support you with your getting started with your Facebook business page. Because you initially got in touch with me a year ago to say that you've been in business and were looking to create an online presence. So tell me a little bit more about what was happening.
Well, online presence and social media is a big part of our world today. And
Yeah.
you can't be a business person or want to reach a lot of people with your thoughts or products, um, or things to change their life without having a presence on the internet and a presence in social media. Um, so I knew a little bit,
Yeah.
but I wanted to have a stronger presence. And I figured from getting to know you that you could expand that world for me and offer me the skills that I need. You
Thanks.
have to get on the path, get me on
Yes.
that track.
Yes. Yes. And so um, I asked you some questions to help me get a better understanding about who you are, your style, and what you want your message to be all about. So would you like to share a little bit about what inspired you to become known as the Hope Broker?
Well, I think in the world we live in today, hope is one of the things that are at time short in coming to people. Uh, people easily despair. And for me, I became, to know that if you don't have your health, um, you don't have anything. The rest of your life
Mm,
doesn't work without being healthy and
yeah.
having the tools to make yourself healthier. So, the business that I'm in, I was exposed to all kinds of products that really can change people's lives. And as a person, my whole life, my mom says, even when I was a little girl, all I wanted to do was help people. And it's a
Yeah.
thread that's run through my life, my whole life, and one I can't seem to escape. My
Yeah.
husband says it's something I can't avoid, even when I don't want to. Maybe I find myself doing things to help people. So I wanted to have a presence that said, there is hope out there. There is nothing that is insurmountable.
Mm,
Um, if you have the right mindset or someone to give you direction on positive thoughts. And your health is something that there are things that can help you. I mean, we can't control other people and other things that go on in our world, but we
right.
can control what we do and what we put into our bodies. And most of us end up having health problems partially because we haven't controlled what we needed to do through our life,
Yeah.
or it seemed too hard at the time. So that was my goal, to begin to talk to people in a way that they could treat themselves with love and understanding and begin to change those patterns and see some light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely. And we need hope. We need hope, particularly at the moment with the pandemic that's happening
Yeah.
all around the world. Um, what's been your experience these last, I guess we're going on for 2 months now since it's been locked down in the States?
Well, well, I've realized how quickly people have gone into despair,
Mm,
and a negative um, frame of thought has taken over with a lot of people.
mm-hmm,
But I have said from the beginning, what good will come out of this that we can't see? And I'm already seeing good around me in the sense that a lot of people are taking stock of their lives in a way they hadn't before. It's like a colleague of mine, we were talking, she said, yeah, my son's home because they closed school early. And because I'm at home, I'm having dinner with him when we used to eat at 9 o'clock at night. And she said, I don't really want to go back to that.
No.
I'm going to change some of the things and the way I operate in my life. And I think that's happening for a lot of people. A lot of people are facing challenges economically. But the thing I know that things will be okay.
Mm.
You can't, I believe we will come out the other side okay. If people center themselves in their hearts
Yes.
and don't think so much about me. Think about helping the other people around you. And you don't need as much as you think you do. When it
Yes.
comes down to the truly valuable things, it's the people you love. So try not to lose sight of that in the midst of a lot of voices when I don't think anybody really knows what this is completely. Everybody's
Yes.
doing their best. We may not like what they do. They aren't consciously setting out to do something bad. So, to give people room to figure it out, while you take care of yourself, what you can control is how you react to people in this situation
Yes.
and how you think in your life. So,
Yes.
I've been learning lots of lessons about that over and over, and how to use my words carefully when I talk to someone. And I've been emotional. Lots of people have been emotional. I've been, um, I'll cry at a drop of a hat. And, but not because I'm afraid. There's just all this bubbling up of feelings. And oftentimes in our culture, we don't allow that it's okay just to have those feelings. And there's a lot of feelings. I think sometimes we're feeling the collective,
Mm.
we're feeling the
Yes.
underground feelings that are rolling with a lot of people are washing up over us.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah. I
center
know.
on the positive.
Yeah, that's good advice. I know I've experienced those emotions too, and I just I'm so glad that um it was over 10 years ago now, but when I was first married and going through my divorce, I got counseling through the workplace. And so I always remember the counselor telling me it's okay to cry. That's a very healthy way of releasing the stress and just to allow that to happen. Because if you fight it, then it can lead to disease and all kinds of problems later on. So I'm forever grateful that I got that advice, 12 years ago. And so now if I feel like crying, I will cry and usually feel so much better as a result afterwards.
And you don't always cry because you're sad. It's just this ab- abundant of emotion that's meaning, I've cried sometimes when I've felt how much I love my husband or I love my mother.
Yeah.
See, now can make me teary eyed.
Yes. Yes. And um, wanted to find out a bit more about you, about how being online with your business, how you've navigated these last few months. What's it been like for you?
um, this started happening before, and it's part of the reason I wanted more of an online presence. And the last 2 months that I write a lot about my mother, and because my mother is in a nursing home, and I feel like um, I have a responsibility, not just to, I'm talking about my mom, but I'm helping other people talk about their parents because there's lots of people who have relatives in nursing homes right now, and they're stressful. and their emotions. So I've been trying to fill my posts with that love that I have
Yes.
and concern that other people have, and help them work through it. Because I wasn't aware in the last year, I found out lots of people were following me
Yeah.
specifically to hear me talk about my mother and
Excellent.
that journey, because we don't talk about that stuff. So
Yes.
I've felt even a more of a responsibility about that, that
Yes.
words are powerful things. I've avoided being political because I
Yes.
don't think that helps anything. And
Yeah.
uh, a lot of people are reacting, overreacting because they're frightened. So I've
Mhm.
tried to make positive posts and process how I'm feeling about my mom, knowing that other people, it's helping them. They can
Yeah.
read it and go, yes, that's how I feel. Oh, yes, I do love my mom. That's the most important thing. And they aren't talking about it too much because, when you're in that situation, you think, who wants to hear about my problems with my mom in the nursing home? But there are hundreds of thousands of people in the United States right now worried
Yeah.
about their elders. Um, so
Absolutely.
that's mostly what I've been focusing on online, is about the love for my mother, the journey I'm going through,
Mm.
and to help other people. I found people I had no idea even looked at my posts. I'd run into someplace, oh, I love when you write about your mom. I'm like, you read my posts? Why would you read it?
Yes.
And that's when I realized,
Yeah.
that started wanting to move towards a bigger presence online, because I love writing those posts. They come from
Mhm.
some place, and I actually love doing Facebook Lives. I think it comes from my theater experience, but it always feels like it's more than me who's saying what needs to be said.
Yes.
So
Yes. Well, I've seen your posts and your Facebook Lives, and you do a wonderful job sharing those stories and helping us to connect with what's going on in your world with your mother. And I know it is a very challenging time. I have a great aunt who's 90 in England, and my mum and dad can't go and visit her. Normally, they would go see her in the home that she lives in. And so the staff have like one of those iPads so they can FaceTime. But because she's never FaceTimed before, my mum and dad were telling me that she doesn't quite get it. She's like, she sees them talking on the iPad, but she just continues to talk to the member of staff in the room. It goes, oh, she doesn't. It's like she just can't quite connect the dots. That it's like they're actually there and they're trying to communicate with her. So it's
I've encountered some of that with my mom too.
yeah,
Good days and bad days.
right.
They're always good days, but I mean days and bad days in terms of her connecting with a way to communicate.
Yes, yeah. Yes, so I am grateful that you are showing up daily to share your message of hope and encouragement with others. And it's been really fun to work with you to help build your brand online. And so I'm going to put on the screen the color board that you sent. So I think that people can see that. They probably can't see us now, but hey, this is live. But you can see we've got the beautiful kind of nature scene here with the poppies, I believe. So we've got those kind of different colors, the green, the blues, and the oranges and reds. So that's where we started when we first started working together. And then I asked you to look through and find images that kind of made you feel like the way you want your audience to feel, bringing that hope and inspiration. And then together we worked on your Facebook cover. So we were able to come up with this. So we've got the picture of the person with their arms open wide, and they remind me of butterflies, but they might be birds sort of flying around in the brilliant sunshine. And then together we worked on the message, be your own solution, discover possibilities, and take inspired action. So is there anything you'd like to say about that particular cover image for your Facebook page?
Well, it really does exemplify what I want, that kind of release of having hope, how it fills you up. And we looked at a lot of images, and we started out with something that was more black and white, and it felt too static. I loved
Right.
the image, but it didn't feel that freedom. And so that was a whole process for me, learning about finding images and all of that. The whole
Yeah.
process has been a wonderful learning thing for me.
Yes. Yes. And I
And
remember
you're
that first
the guy.
image.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was I think it was the key. It was like a key with the word hope. So it's like the key to opening
Key.
up. Yeah. And I'm so happy that you found that image
Yes.
because it,
And I
it really
just,
does exemplify.
yeah, it has the energy that I wanted.
Yes. 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 So I know we'll be talking a little bit more about the
And
Facebook
I would
business
say in the
page. Oh, we got a bit of a delay. Carry on.
I was just saying that you were a good guide in the sense that I didn't really know what I was doing when I was looking. Um, it was sort of still forming in my brain. Um, so through the process, you helped me work it out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I had everything nailed down. Maybe I should have, but I did. It was sort of growing and forming in my head. I was birthing an idea. So you helped with all of that.
Oh, my pleasure. And I just loved how once you'd given me those colors that you wanted, it became really simple and fast to put together that cover image because we're able to go, okay, we want to go with those blues. That's what we want, the teal, light teal color. We want those to be the predominant colors. And so that then also followed through because we talked about a strategy where your business, in your business, you have customers and clients, and then you also have people who are part of your team. So you're the leader for them. And so we identified that Facebook is a wonderful platform in that you can have groups where you can provide customer service in a customer group, or you can provide that leadership and motivation for members of your team. And so we discussed having two groups for your business and looked at what the messaging might be for that and how um, again, what kind of images would be really good to stand out on that. So I'm going to share on the screen now the Inspired Health group, the first group for the customers and clients. So can you see that as well, or?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know it covers our pictures, so you can't see us talking anymore, but we can still, so we can see you wanted to call
Yes.
it your Inspired Health Community with Odelle Bowman, the Hope Broker. And so again, you can see there's some continuity happening with the colors. We've got that light green happening, and then we've also got more vivid colors because, as you mentioned earlier, energy is a really important part of what you want to be sharing with people. So would you like to tell us a little bit more about the images you chose and what they mean to you?
Well, it was that that image was about a sense of freedom, and with your health and being fully healthy. And the other image was a link into how science, and there's new, because it's for my customer page, how much science is involved in some of the things that are coming up in health and wellness, all natural science that leads to that inspired health. And that and the big, our brain connection is connected to how our body functioning as a whole. So the two images together were, achieving wellness connected to science.
I love that. So you've got both elements combined here. So at a glance, someone can arrive at your Inspired Health community page. And I see we've got some comments. So I'm just going to go there and see what we've got here. So Gail Vilku is saying these are beautiful colors. Thank you, Gail. And see, you've also got another message from Gail saying learning new ways to communicate from the heart. And so there's lots of comments coming in from people watching, just saying about how they're seeing what's going on with your brand and how it's coming together. So I'm glad to have that. So yeah, so that was for the customer group. And then for the business group, for where you're the leader and you're motivating people, you mentioned that you wanted it to be called Team Lighthouse, a gathering place for inspiration, support, and community. And I know in Maine we've got plenty of lighthouses. So is that something that you have come across?
Well, it wasn't so much an imagery from Maine, but the idea that I'm developing leaders and that we're all leaders, and to be bright lights to draw people to us, and to be a light for people to find their way.
Okay.
Lots of people use the lighthouse image or talk about being a lighthouse, but I've said that for years. So the imagery of a lighthouse is important for me.
Yeah. And again, I just love how, because you had that clarity of what your vision, what you represent in your business, and how you want to be leading people, inspiring people, we were able to put this together relatively quickly to just, carry on using your brand colors and to put in this imagery here. So yeah, so that was the fun part of the initial process of creating your online presence, so that you have those spaces, those hubs for your business. And I wondered if you had any questions about where you're at the moment with the online business, and what issues you might be experiencing that we could focus on today.
Well, I haven't officially launched my Hope Broker because it needs more content. And I guess I need some clarity of what things I should put there. You know what I mean? So that when
Right.
people go there, you don't want them to go and, well, there's the whole thing, but there's nothing here.
Right.
I mean, should I be developing, a welcome to the page video that's down somewhere? Should I tape some, some videos that are already loaded in for when people come to want to see what I'm about. They can hear me talk on a variety of things. Should it have some articles? That's what uh, I need some clarity on, so I can make a list and like get it done. So I can.
Yeah,
I'd like to launch it sometimes.
great.
So
Well,
any
we can.
input would be good.
Yes. Well, you're already on the right tracks. And yes, it's great to have a welcome video on each of those different spaces. So have the welcome video for the business page and a welcome video for the customer group. And then, do a different video for the business group where you're leading your team. Because each one your message will be slightly different.
Yeah.
And then I would go back over the Facebook Lives you've already done on your personal profile and see what got a lot of good engagement. And from there, you can download those videos and then share them to your business page or pop them even into the groups. So that way you're able to repurpose the content and anything where you've been sharing stories, even in the written format with a photo, those can become posts that you can use for your business page and for your customer and team hubs.
So I could um, do as you're talking about downloading some of the Facebook Lives, and I could do some posts that will be there when the page goes up, so people can um, see what I'm trying to say and
Yes,
what value there might be there for them.
yes. And you don't
Okay.
need many, you just need a few. And then just to be clear and transparent with them that this is new, you're gonna get more information on there as you go, and then decide on a schedule that is going to be something you can maintain, because you want to have that consistency. And what we need to look at is like what's happening in your life right now. What's your time like? Do you have time to do business, to do something every day, or would you be better off just blocking off time to create a batch of content?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then once it's established, I can just go live on the page to talk about things. True. And then
True.
invite, and if people are on my page, they'll get notification that I'm going live and what I'm going to
Yes.
talk about. And okay. Do you
Yeah.
do you think that it's good to have consistently the same day and time you're going live, or does it matter?
I believe it helps to have the consistency. So, like for me, with this show, Connecting the Dots, I've chosen it's going to be 4 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday. And I like this time because it's 1 p.m. on the West Coast. It's 9 p.m. over in England, so it's still not too late. People are still up and will tune in. And then for people on the other side of the world, I believe it's 8 a.m. in New Zealand and maybe 6 a.m. different parts of Australia. So that allows me to have a global reach by choosing this time of day. And of course, if you were to go later, maybe during the evening, then you'll get more people from Australia and New Zealand and from that part of the world, and not so much from Europe. So it really depends on who your target audience is, who you want to reach. So tell me, Odelle, who's your audience that you're looking to reach out to?
Wow. I'm looking for people who want to be inspired, and who want to inspire others. That maybe looking for a change, or just need some support, like accountability or mindset as they go forward on things they may be working on changing in their life, and want to be able to, be that person for other people, that people come to listen to them. They can support other people because they're getting support. I mean, I've learned or kind of had this observation that many of the people that I respect and I consider to be great teachers, and people that have shared things that have made an impact on my life, they had people that they talked to
Mm.
that inspired them. It's like one big chain. Nobody completely does it by themselves. Um, and I would like to inspire a lot of people to think that they can make positive change in their lives and in the world around them. I'm one of those corny people that really does believe that one person can make big changes for lots of people by the way they lead their life, and by the way you open a door for them to see that there is hope, or that they can change things. Because the one thing we can control, and ultimately the only thing, is us. Um,
Yes.
and if we, we have to be the example, and it's not easy stuff.
Yeah.
I think we're always works in progress and learning.
Yes.
And when we're not learning, we're not moving forward. So,
Right.
uh, so
Yeah. Well, you are inspiring people. We've got Gail saying that she's tuning in from CA, and it's a great discussion. Um, Amy Novotny, hope you're saying your name right, Amy. She's also here with us, and she's saying thanks for sharing Odelle's passion. So that's what I
thank
love about this platform, is that we are able to um, share your passion, reach an audience. And one of the things I like to encourage my clients is to then repurpose this. So like, you will be able to take this interview and have it as content on your page. So that
awesome.
way your audience will be able to get to know you, and also know a little bit behind the scenes. What were you thinking when you were putting together your online presence? So they get to hear that story from your heart to theirs.
That's great. That's great, Em.
Oh, you're welcome. And one of the other things we did was I love using Trello, and I'm wondering if the people who are watching here, or if you watch the replay, if you want to comment and let me know if you're familiar with Trello boards. It's a way of organizing your ideas, your thoughts, your actions, all kinds of important information on can be on your browser, on a website, or even, because everyone's got one of these now, right? The mobile phone. So, there's an app for it that allows people to take it wherever they go. So if people watching are familiar with Trello, let me know in the comments, because there's a lot of cool things you can do with Trello. And so one of the things we've done together is we've put together some boards using my templates that help you to stay organized and give you some ideas about content and stuff. And I'm going to see now if I can share my screen, and I'm going to choose this format here. So hopefully when I go to share the screen, hopefully now we can go to Trello. So can people see Trello? That's what I'm hoping. So hopefully people see Trello. So I made a team for Odelle. And this is, how to plan and track every part of your business online or via your phone app using Trello. And what I was able to share with Odelle was some ideas. In fact, 365 social post ideas, a business binder, which is like, if you remember when you used to just have a physical representation of your business, well, this is like the digital version of that. And I can show a little bit more. And then also a plan of action for 2020 to help map out. And then the week at a glance, which has more practical information for planning ahead what you're going to share on your business page, on your Facebook group, whether it's for your customers or for your business. So I hope I'm just going to stop sharing, come back to StreamYard. So yeah, and so you see how everything's going on. So Odelle, when you received Trello and my little video that kind of explained it, what were your first impressions? Was it something that you felt, oh, I'll be able to manage this, or was it overwhelming? I'm curious to know.
No, my impression was I'll be able to manage this, and thank goodness for it, because I'm, as a person, kind of a flow person.
Right.
And if I don't establish some structures, it's easily for me to get off course and not to keep a handle on everything. And when you brought up Trello and we began to talk about it, it seemed like an um, amazing tool for that, for tracking what I'm doing, because lots of, besides all the stuff around posts within my business, I'm reaching out to lots of people. And if you don't keep track of where you were in that process, you'll forget. Our brains only have so much space. And it's like, oh, did I send them that information or did I not? Oh
Yes.
my goodness, gotta figure this out. So um, I was happy. It was a tool to use, because, like I say, I'm a flow person. I need some more structure, because as my business is growing, the more your business grows, whatever your field is, you have to start to embrace some structure and form, or it stops your growth. At least I think it stops your growth at some time. And, I've had to look at not taking control of those elements and learning those skills. Was I stopping myself? Was it some kind of internal rebellion from stopping myself from moving forward? So, no, I'm embracing the use of the tool and more of that, because we all have things that we need to figure out about us. I have no problem um, being creative and
Mhm.
coming up with ideas, and I'm kind of fearless about, just like, yeah, I think I'll do a Facebook Live now. I've been thinking about
Yeah.
this all week. I don't necessarily feel I have to write it all out. But for other things, I do need structure and form. And there's an argument to be made for going through and making an outline for your Facebook Live as well, which I have often done with the key points that I want to hit, because you could get too caught up in the thought and you'll riff off, and it may not make sense to anybody else but you. So
Yeah.
so structure is good.
Yes. Absolutely. It can really help. And the other thing I like to encourage is just, even if you can set aside just 15 minutes a day to go onto Facebook and to post something, and then to stay and engage with people, so that you can start to build those relationships. And one of the best ways of approaching Facebook, almost, or any social media, that I heard was like considering it to be like a dinner party experience. You know, when you go to a dinner party, you don't go up to someone and say, "Hi, this is my business and I want you to buy something," right? You're not all in their face, salesy, pushy. You go, "Oh, how, how do you know the host? How do you, it's like, what are you into? What do you do for fun?" And so it's more social, and yeah, just to focus on keeping it casual and like a dinner party, in the sense that, well, if you wouldn't say it at a dinner party, don't say it on Facebook.
Right. It's true. It's true.
That way you can be invited.
Lots of
Go on.
No, I was going to say, oftentimes I'm on responding, and then I'll leave a few that I don't respond to, and I'll respond the next day because it'll throw it out into my feed for another day, and some people will see it, would not have seen it the day before.
Yes,
Um, and sometimes I have to think about what do I want to say to them. I'll come back,
yes,
and I'll figure out what I say. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because sometimes we need that time and space to consider and to come back with a well-formed response, rather than just a like.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And the more you write, you actually, all that algorithm stuff, the more you write, it helps your posts get out there more in response to people, is
Yes,
what someone told me. So I'm
yeah,
all still learning all this stuff, you know.
yeah. No, you're catching on, and you're doing extremely well, and they're following what Gary V, who's one of those well-known people who has a team of people supporting him to be as visible as he is. He often talks about the adding your 2 cents. So taking time to add a comment to somebody else's post is another great way to stay top of mind. So if you're familiar and you're connected to your customers, even with just your personal profile, you can go and be visible by seeing what they're up to and adding value to whatever they're posting at the time. Yeah,
No, absolutely.
yeah. Well, Odelle, do you have any particular questions that I can help you with? Um,
I think um, I know what I need to do, and some of it is probably trial and error about putting stuff up, and then no, that's not the right thing, because my Facebook pages are going to evolve as I evolve,
yeah,
and as the people who become members of that group evolve. I'll know more about what I need to add on, and
yes,
yeah, I think that's it. And Trello, I just need to devote more time to it.
okay,
And it's a tool that can make a lot of other things easier for me long term.
yes.
Um, so
Yeah. Would you like to look at in more detail at one of the Trello boards today? Because we've got a
sure.
bit of time. So, is there one in particular that we've got the 365 ideas for social media posts? So we could open that up and see what kind of ideas and things they've got there.
Yeah.
Or there's the week at a glance, where I took some strategy that I've seen other people who are in network marketing are applying to help develop their customer groups and then keep them teams motivated. So, which would you prefer?
The week at a glance.
Okay, so let's go share. Okay, no, hold on. I want to make sure. So we'll have this like that. And then hopefully then when we share, we'll still be on screen. And there. So now this is the week at a glance board. And the way I've set it up is you start from left to right. So daily affirmation. I always like to focus on what I'm thankful for. And so in here, you've got a space where you could add some more information about what you're thankful for, what might help you start off your being intentional with preparing for your week. Also some practical stuff, like you can have a quarterly goal in here. So if one of your goals is you want to grow your Facebook group to have first 100 customers in there, or whatever the target is, you can put that goal in there. Inspiration. I already added this in here because these are two quotes that I particularly like and stand behind. Is like, we don't have a choice on whether we do social media. The question is how well we do it, which was said by Eric Coleman. And then Michael Hyatt, who's another mentor that I respect, he says, what gets scheduled gets done. So very, very true. So what you'll find in here, Odelle, is like I've created different tips for like the Team Lighthouse Facebook group posting schedule. So these are some of the topics you could focus on because this is your team and it's all about business and helping others build their business. You can help them understand better the pay plan, positioning, why now is a good time to join, partnership, what kind of support they can receive. And then if your company has any products or programs, maybe some incentive trips, etc. And then always, 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 it's like you'll see actually most of the time it's about sharing success stories, which can either be written out or it could be like a Facebook Live or interviews with people. And then you might have your presentation from webinars or conference calls. And then as you go, I'm sure you'll be developing your own particular quotes about being a hope broker, an entrepreneur. So I've done my best to kind of help structure it so that you've got maybe 1 or 2 posts a day. And, you know, these can be live in the moment or resharing from time ago. So you've got that. We've also got the personal profile, Facebook posts. So again, sort of like considering it to be more like TV, almost like what sells or what do people tune in when they want to watch TV? It's the prime time content. So keeping it positive, lifestyle orientated, sharing resources, and then only doing like some promotional stuff a few times a week, like indirect business posts. You can share those like 3 times a week where you're just wanting to get people curious about what you're up to so that they reach out to you, and then you can share with them more about what your business is about, maybe invite them to one of those Facebook groups, and then having one direct post a week where you are saying, hey, I'm in business and this is what it's all about. So that's there. And so, yeah, we've got.
Well, that's great stuff.
Oh, thank you. Yes, and so there's also for like the customer group, ways you can build engagement, whether it's sharing a series post, so helping them to understand the benefits of a particular product, having contests. If you have samples that you can give, or gift cards, things like that. And then again, doing quotes and inviting people to check out the business. So yes, we've got that there. And then if you're familiar with Eat That Frog.
That's all.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I'm glad this is making sense and you've found it's awesome. And yeah, as you can see, it just goes. I like to start the week from Sunday, so you'll see it starts Sunday and goes through to Saturday, and I've broken it into things you can do daily, morning, midday, afternoon, evening, as it were. So just a little bit of inspiration there for you.
Well, it's a focus too on specifically for what I can focus on.
Right.
And there would be a consistency of things that were posted as well. So
Yes.
that's good.
Great. And when you were listening or watching while I was sharing that, were there any sort of like thoughts or voices in your head that came up that kind of went, oh, did it feel easy? Like you're going to be able to do that? Or were there any kind of hesitations or doubts?
No, what I liked about it was that it was clear. There were a lot of things, but I know I can start with little bites and build it in, but it's clear about what I need to do. And I think most of the time we get overwhelmed when we aren't clear what we need to do. When
Right.
we could do all of these things, but what could we do or should we do? And I'm and that I can do them in some way until I get good at them.
Yes.
Until I get better at them, because
Yes.
I know some of that's going to take some time. The clarity of what's needed is really, really good. It wasn't overwhelming at all.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
It's like, yeah, as opposed to, it's like how you feel if there's a table piled with stuff and you can't find it, as opposed to you're overwhelmed with all the things. But when it's a neat little pile, so it's the same amount of stuff, but you're clear on where you can go and what you can access. So it's a
Excellent.
great help, Em.
My
I
pleasure,
don't
Odelle.
think people often when people start to do this work, it's like, what do I post? Tell me what kind of posts. I don't know what I should do. So
Yeah, that's so true. And that's where I love to help my clients connect the dots to go, I have a pathway. I'll be your guide. It's like, let's map this out together so that you can shine, stay in your genius. And ultimately, like you said, you get to play with it. You get to see what works with your audience, and maybe you have people on your team who love social media, and so they can become part of this preparing content, and so it becomes like a collaborative operation is the word that's coming to mind right now. It's like you don't have to do it alone, basically.
well, you helped me with, sometimes we have internal resistance to getting things done or figuring it out, and you had great patience with me as I pushed through my internal resistance or ways I threw myself off track, I feel sometimes. So you were very patient, um, because sometimes when I talk, I can be all over the place with my ideas, but you were patient and helped me pull them in and focus them, is how I felt about it. So.
Oh, You're so welcome. I'm happy I was able to hold the space for you so that you could get clarity. And I'm excited to see what you will create. So my question is, what are you committing to? What's next?
I'm going to start on the content for the Hope Broker page and start loading that up because so I can launch it and start the process and start to use the Trello for scheduling in those things because I'm at a big point with my business right now. I'm doing a lot of action. So the Trello needs to be part of the action I build in. I'm a person who can, not meaning to, can overschedule themselves unless they put those places in to do the other necessary things. So I want to load my Hope Broker page and begin to use Trello to help me navigate this right now when I'm in deep action, because that has to go hand in hand, because the way I want to grow things and support people, I it can't just be action. It has to be this other piece too that I can ground myself in and have it there for other people.
I love that. Yeah, I'm excited to see how that all unfolds. And
Me too.
yeah, is there a date when you want to have it up and running that you're prepared to say on air? And it's okay if you don't want to, but
No, I think I should say that. Let me look here. Here I'm looking at the calendar. See what I got next week. Why don't we say, and I'm gonna pencil this in as a June 6th. It's the first Monday in June. That gives me
okay,
2 weeks to do some
brilliant.
loading, and that will start June with great energy. So June 6th.
You heard it here, people. June 6th is when you can expect to go over to the Hope Broker page on Facebook and be amazed by the inspiration and all the great information that Odelle has about health and well-being. So,
Thank you, Emily.
oh, thank you, Odelle. It's been a real pleasure and an honor to have you as my guest today. And how can people get in touch with you? What's the best way for them to get in touch if they'd like to speak with you or find out more about your adventures?
Um, well, um, I'm on Facebook, Odelle Bowman on Facebook. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
And my email is odell.bowman@gmail. That's an easy way.
Okay.
But there isn't any other Odelle Bowman on Facebook, as far as I know.
Awesome. Okay. And Gail heard you. She's going to hold you accountable too, that you said June the 6th. So with love.
Thank you. Thank you, Gail. I
Great.
appreciate it. We need to be held accountable.
Yes. Yes, we do. Yes. So I will also be in touch, and you know that you can get hold of me anytime to ask questions if you need some support. And I'm going to put this on. So if anybody else who's watching this live or watching the replay wants to get in touch with me, I am Emily Miller, and you can find me on all social media just by searching for I am Emily Miller. So thank you so much for joining with us today. Please do like and share this. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. Gail's saying you're welcome. And yeah, we'll I'll be here next Wednesday, and I hope to have another guest. Not confirmed yet who exactly that will be, but we will be here connecting the dots and sharing more tips about social media and marketing. So thanks for being here, everyone. Have a good, wonderful rest of your day and week. God bless. Bye-bye.